Welcome back, guys. We're going to finish up our series on how to make a song for a music library. This is part 4. If you haven't seen the other ones, go back and watch them and learn you something. Stay tuned. All right, the next thing I want to do, I want a couple more things from Omnisphere. So I decided instead of just have one little quick patch of Omnisphere, I'm going to put the whole session in. So I have an Omnisphere project I can just drop in, and I highly advise doing that. In fact, you can build your Omnisphere so that each track within it is routed to its own separate volume control. And I can show you how to do that if you're interested. Give me a jingle. So this is just a sweet way to, now I have full control of each track, and I'm going to go ahead and bring that Omnisphere track that I just created and bring it over onto the other side, and so that I can delete that Omnisphere session. Just gotta keep things clean. Neatness counts. So here we go. Just wanted to make sure that that's still all working correctly and it's connected to the right patch. So what I want to do here is actually I want to change my main lead sound that I created in Massive. I actually want to change it now to something in Omnisphere, just because I wasn't feeling that patch. That's an interesting sound. So going through the different leads, I don't want it to be too square wavy. I mean, that's okay, but I like that. It's got some squeak to it, so we're going to modify this. And we need to change the how much it portamentos. So I'm just playing with portamento. I'm playing with the different notes a little bit, and I'm going to start making some variances. I'm liking that, but let's add a portamento at the bottom of it, or not a portamento, a pitch bend is what I meant to say. So we're going to add a little pitch bend at the end of it. Too much, way too much. So we're going to back that off a little bit. Not too bad. And now we can go into Omnisphere and actually adjust. You'll see it was on 12 to bend. That's not quite enough. Let's add 5. So I just am kind of taking those things I've been changing, that portamento change and the slides, and I'm trying to figure out where I want them. I may not want it to bend every time. I may want the notes to be a little bit different. So let's go in here. In fact, I think that I kind of decided that the velocity wasn't quite right. I wanted, some patches, the velocity or the transients really come out when you bring the velocity up. And this patch is a case in point. I've got a lot of instruments going on there. This is the lead part. This is the lead voice. It needs to cut through the mix. And so it's so important to actually push that through. Now, the next thing I want to do is, I noticed that second part that I also did in Razor, I'm not crazy about. I like the tail of it, but I'm wondering if I could find a better patch in Omnisphere. So we're going to take a look at that. So we're going to load up a patch. This is track number 3, or patch number 3. So we're going to find one. I want something that definitely has some squeak and some bendiness. I want it to be a little softer than the lead part. That's too aggressive. I don't want that. Ooh, kind of like that one. digging that. It's got a cool vibrato on the tail of it. That's beautiful. I'm liking that a lot. And we can change that dip. See, it's going down to a note it's too much there at the end. I think it's because the release is too high. So what we're going to do is we're going to change it. And again, that's the ADSR. I have a video about that. We're going to adjust that ADSR a little bit so that when it bends down, the note dissolves, basically. You don't want it to keep going because then you'll hear if that envelope goes back up, that pitch bend. I'm liking that. We're going to drop a little reverb on this because I'm not crazy about its existing reverb, and I really like the reverbs I have in Waves. This is the IR1, so I'm going to drop a studio emulator. And we're just going to mess around until we get what we want with that as well. So I'm also going to apply an EQ to this because I don't really need all that mud at the bottom of this. And again, this is kind of a mixing thing, but I'm just doing it as I'm producing here. This is because I know I'm going to EQ that out. So it's sounding pretty good now. I'm liking that. I'm digging it. So now I'm going to mess with this little bone, that little bell thing on the offbeat. I just want to tweak that a little bit. I'm going to go back and forth on that. The next thing I want to do is take a look at also maybe adjusting these the pitch dive of the growl bass. I want it to really dive because it gives a lot of attitude when you do a dive like that. But to get it that right just takes some tweaking, so I spent some time doing that. Then lastly here, well not lastly, but getting close to the end, I started adding some hi-hat parts. So I thought maybe right before that hit, I could add like a triplet hi-hat. Or even, and then I decided, let's try to make it a 6-tuplet. Okay. If you're not familiar with triplets, you should be, because you can do a lot of cool things with triplets, especially in hi-hats. They're used all the time, especially nowadays. A lot in hip-hop. So I wanted to add a little bit more hit to this, so I added, kind of went back into battery and looked at the snare hit and decided to turn that up. And then I thought, you know, why not add one of the existing snares that comes in on the groove into that as well. So I thought, you know what, it's time to add Ozone. Ozone's my mastering plugin. Because I'm going to be doing a self-mastering here, I just decided to drop it in. Let's hear how things are going to start sounding. Hopefully it's going to help the dynamics of the song. It's going to make it sound a little punchier. Already sounds really better. It's good to do your levels and your mixing before you ever touch the master. Don't mix into your mastering bus, or don't mix into your mastering plugins. My advice is make it sound really good as it is, and then add the mastering at the end. So I'm kind of to that point, so I'm starting to add that. And again, of course, I've got to finesse that little part. I keep changing my mind about where I want that to be. So I decided to also, I kind of missed that that second voice that I did in Razor. I kind of want to keep one of them. So I thought, you know, why not just add it just in the middle? And so the second time that comes in, it's layered with Razor there. And I thought that might be kind of a cool idea. This is where I got. Sounds pretty good. Guys, thanks so much for making it all the way through that 4-part series. I know that was a little bit long, but hopefully it was worth it, and it was worth your time. I tried to cut out a lot of stuff to make it go fast. Just to let you know, I'm going to take a break from YouTube for a while. I had a goal of doing this for 6 months every week, and I nailed it, and I'm pretty happy about that. But I need to take a little break. I've got so much things on the table, and maybe we can come back and do some more videos later. So peace out, keep writing, stay frosty.